"Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." These words, spoken by Jesus, resonate deeply as we explore one of the most intriguing moments in the Bible, the story of Jesus and the adulterous woman. This story is filled with themes of forgiveness, compassion, and justice, revealing the profound nature of Jesus' teachings. When the Pharisees and scribes brought a woman caught in adultery before Jesus, they were trying to trap him. They wanted to see if he would follow the strict law of Moses, which said that such a woman should be stoned. They thought they could corner Jesus, forcing him to either go against the law or show mercy, which they could use against him. But Jesus did something unexpected. Instead of responding to them directly, he bent down and started writing on the ground with his finger. This simple act had a deep meaning. People have wondered for centuries about what he wrote. Some think he might have been listing the sins of the accusers, making them realize their own guilt. Others believe he was referencing scriptures from the Old Testament that highlight God's judgment and mercy. What's clear is that whatever Jesus wrote, it made a powerful impact. As he wrote, he told the crowd, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." This statement challenged the accusers to look at their own lives. One by one, they began to leave, starting with the oldest, until only Jesus and the woman were left. Jesus' act of writing on the ground was more than just a distraction. It was a profound lesson in humility and self-reflection. By shifting the focus from the woman's sin to the accuser's own sins, Jesus showed that none of us are without fault. His words and actions reminded everyone present that mercy and compassion are more important than judgment and condemnation. Have you ever wondered why Jesus chose to write on the ground instead of giving a direct answer? The act of writing in the sand is not just a mysterious gesture, but a powerful statement. By doing this, Jesus shifted the focus from the woman's sin to the sin of her accusers. In this moment, he demonstrated that forgiveness and compassion are more potent than judgment and condemnation. The story starts with the Pharisees trying to trap Jesus. They brought a woman caught in adultery before him and asked what should be done to her according to the law of Moses, which said she should be stoned. They were trying to catch Jesus in a difficult situation. If he said not to stone her, they could accuse him of breaking the law. If he agreed to stone her, they could accuse him of lacking mercy. Instead of directly answering their question, Jesus did something unexpected. He bent down and started writing on the ground with his finger. This puzzled everyone. What was he writing? Some people think he might have been writing down the sins of the men accusing the woman, making them aware of their own guilt. Others believe he was writing verses from the Old Testament that talk about God's justice and mercy. Whatever Jesus wrote, it had a powerful effect. It made the accusers think deeply about their own lives. Jesus then said, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." This statement hit them hard. Realizing they were not without sin themselves, they began to leave one by one, starting with the oldest. Jesus' simple act of writing on the ground and his wise words caused the accusers to see their own faults and understand that they were not in a position to judge the woman. Imagine being in that crowd, watching the faces of the accusers change from confidence to shame. At first, they were sure they had trapped Jesus, but his simple act of writing on the ground made them uneasy. When Jesus stood up and said, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her," the mood shifted dramatically. Each accuser, realizing their own sinfulness, slowly and quietly walked away, starting with the oldest. This left the woman standing alone with Jesus. He didn't condemn her, but showed her compassion and mercy instead. This scene isn't just about the woman caught in adultery, it's a lesson for all of us. How often do we rush to judge others without thinking about our own faults? Jesus teaches us that true justice must include mercy. Understanding others comes from being compassionate. Instead of focusing on the mistakes of others, we should reflect on our own lives and show kindness and forgiveness. As the last accuser walked away, Jesus stood up and looked at the woman. He asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She looked around and answered, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Then neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin." This moment shows Jesus' authority and his readiness to offer a second chance. He didn't ignore her sin, but he also didn't condemn her. Instead, he gave her a way to change her life and find redemption. Jesus showed that while he upheld the law, he also offered forgiveness and a new beginning. This final exchange is a powerful reminder of Jesus' compassion and his desire for everyone to have the opportunity to turn their lives around. This story is a powerful reminder that Jesus' teachings often challenge the strict interpretations of the law held by the religious leaders. The Pharisees and scribes focused on the letter of the law, enforcing rules without considering mercy. But Jesus emphasized the spirit of the law, which is about love and compassion. By forgiving the woman caught in adultery, Jesus showed that true justice isn't just about punishment. It's about understanding and compassion. He taught that we should look beyond the rules and focus on the deeper meaning, which is to treat others with kindness and mercy. Jesus' actions demonstrated that real justice is built on compassion and understanding, not just strict adherence to the law. How do you interpret Jesus' actions in this story? Do you see it as a challenge to look inward and examine our own lives before judging others? This lesson is timeless, reminding us of the importance of self-reflection and mercy in our interactions with others. As we delve deeper, let's connect this scene to the Old Testament. Writing on the ground has significant meaning in Hebrew scriptures. In Jeremiah 17 verse 13, it says, "Lord, you are the hope of Israel. All who forsake you will be put to shame. Those who turn away from you will be written in the dust because they have forsaken the Lord, the spring of living water." Jesus' act of writing on the ground could be seen as a fulfillment of this prophecy, indicating his divine authority and his role as the living water. The story of Jesus and the adulterous woman is more than just a tale of forgiveness, it's a profound teaching moment that connects the Old and New Covenants. Jesus' actions and words emphasized a deeper understanding of the law, one that is rooted in compassion and the fulfillment of prophecies. In every interaction, Jesus showed that he valued mercy over strict adherence to the law. He consistently challenged the religious leaders of his time, urging them to look beyond the surface and understand the deeper meaning of the scriptures. He wanted them to see that the law was meant to guide people towards love and compassion, not just to enforce rules. So, how can we apply this lesson in our lives today? How can we show more compassion and understanding towards others? One way is by being less quick to judge and more willing to forgive. When someone makes a mistake, instead of condemning them, we can offer them a chance to change and grow. Another way is by looking at the bigger picture in our interactions. Instead of focusing on the rules, we can focus on the people and their needs. We can ask ourselves how we can help and support them, showing empathy and kindness. Jesus taught us that true justice comes from a place of compassion. By following his example, we can make our world a kinder, more understanding place. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss how we can apply these timeless lessons in our daily lives. Jesus' teachings continue to resonate because they call us to a higher standard of living. They encourage us to move beyond self-righteousness and embrace a life of humility and grace. The story of the adulterous woman is a call to personal transformation, urging us to leave behind judgment and embrace forgiveness. As we reflect on this story, let's consider our own lives. Are there areas where we need to show more mercy? How can we follow Jesus' example in our daily interactions? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss how we can apply these timeless lessons today. Thank you for joining us on Celestial Chronicles. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions on biblical stories. Let's continue to explore the depths of these ancient texts and uncover their relevance for our lives today.